Oh, it's Monday, it's 6 p.m. and I'm back for another live stream. A lot's gone on in this last week since I last saw you. Situation with illness, which means I haven't been out and about. How are you? Good to see you here. What sort of day have you had? I've been getting back into things today. I haven't done a stroke since Wednesday. I did the video went out on Wednesday. I've done nothing since then. I've been laid up the settee, feeling sorry for myself, not feeling great. But at least I've got time to sit and watch the telly, because that's pretty much all I've done this week. And it seems really odd for me to sit about doing nothing. Cristiano, hello, nice to see you again. I've been working on that video. Am I back? I don't know what's been going on. We've been having all sorts of problems, but it seems like I'm back on air at the moment, so we'll just have to see how we get on. It's been one of those weeks, and it's proving, as always, that we seem to be having the same sort of problems that we always do with the live stream. I cannot wait until we get fibre, if the truth be known. So let me know if you're about and you're watching the video, because it's going to be good. It's God. Something's definitely not happy tonight, Andy. I seem to have been having loads of problems for the last few weeks on here. I don't know why it's happening, other than the only thing I can think is that because I don't have fibre, that I seem to have problems with our normal internet. It's a crazy thing, but all we can do is try and keep going. So yeah, as I said, it's been a weird week for me. I've not done a great deal other. You can hear me now. That's great. I haven't been able to do much else other than lay about and watching the telly this week, but it has given me lots of time to think. Now, I talked to you a while back about the giveaways of DVDs and Blu-rays and things. Well, this week I've managed to watch a few. So I've managed to pack a few away to add to the pile to the ones that we're going to be giving. Yeah, the upload speed is really awful. All we can do is plod on and keep trying. So anyway, yeah, I've got you some DVDs. So I'm going to be putting a few more aside, and hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll be able to do a giveaway DVD telling you what's available on the films side. And I've found some software today that will do a draw, so it'll be able to pick names out of the draw and pick a winner for it, so we'll know who we're going to be giving to. I'll do more about that next week, and we'll see where we go with that. What's been happening this... Oh, I've got to tell you, because I haven't been well, I decided that I needed to get fit again. And so I've been out and started walking. What I used to do was walk 10,000 steps a day. And I did fairly well with that, lost a bit of weight and all that sort of thing, picked up fitness. But because I haven't been doing it for a long time now, I've been mighty unfit. And I saw a video the other day about a thing called Japanese Japanese interval walking. And what the idea of it is that you walk at a normal slow pace for 3 minutes. Then when you've hit the 3 minutes mark, you pick up the pace a bit for another 3 minutes to get a bit of what's the word? Lift your heartbeat up again, get you working a little bit. And then when you've done that 3 minutes, you go back and do it slow again for another 3 minutes, and so on until you've done it 5 times. So basically, you're walking 30 minutes a day. Well, I have to tell you, I was shattered. The last 2 days I've been doing it, and I've been absolutely shattered. I don't know how I've managed to do so poorly with it, but I'm doing it, and I'm getting started again because I've put so much weight back on, and I really need to get rid of some of it to get me back to my normal self. With the situation with me being ill, I'm pretty sure that most of you know that I have only one kidney, and it hasn't been filtering properly of late. I've been having tests all through July and August, and it's not working as well as it could be. So I had to go to the doctors last week, and it wasn't very good. I got to be honest. They told me that they think I might have stage 2 of chronic kidney disease in my one remaining kidney, which doesn't sound good at all. But I'm waiting for a letter to come from the hospital, do an ultra scan and have a look at the kidney itself and see if it's as bad as the results are suggesting. If it's not as bad as the results are suggesting, then we've got to look at something else to find out what's wrong. But it sounds awful because I've only got one kidney and it sounds like really bad. But you know what? I'm not going to take any notice of that until such time as I get the results back from the tests I've got to have, because I've kind of been this place once before when I had the lump on that kidney. So I've got to start thinking about moving on, because it would be very easy for me to sit down and think the end is nigh, but I don't believe it. I feel tired, but I don't feel so bad. The last few days, I'm feeling a bit better than I was, and so hopefully that will help moving forwards. I'm trying to do this walking thing. I'm going to be doing it. What I've found is if I don't do it first thing when I get up in the morning, I struggle in the rest of the day to find the time to do it, because once I start doing other stuff, I never seem to be able to stop and say, right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go and have a walk. So I'm going to have to do that early doors and see how we go from there. I was talking to my son about it last night. No, not last night, a couple of nights ago. And he was talking about drinking hydrogen water. Now, I don't know whether that's works or not, but he did say to me, because I've been thirsty all the time and I drink incessantly. And so he was on about, he bought one of these little bottles of the hydrogen water. You put the water in it, turn it on, and you see all the bubbles come up and whatever. And he said it's helped him to not feel so thirsty all the time. And he also said that after a week or so, he actually started feeling better, not so tired and all that sort of stuff. So on his say so, I went and bought one. I got it yesterday and I've started using that today. I don't know whether it's going to work or not. You can't tell over one day, can you? Andy, it's terrible when you don't walk so much, isn't it? I used to get up and I quite liked walking. I didn't at first, but what I found was that I could either take headphones, listen to a bit of music and have a groove as I was doing my walk, or I would just go and have a think. And yes, Andy, it has already got hydrogen in it. But what happens is you put it into this little bottle and there's a thing on the bottom that sends up hydrogen bubbles and it makes more hydrogen. I did watch a couple of videos today and they both seem to be saying that it's good for you. I don't know whether it is or not. It might be just the newest fad, you never know. But I bought the bottle, it was, I don't know, 17 quid, something like that. and I tried it all today, and it seems all right. I thought I did wonder whether it was going to be all fizzy because it's blowing bubbles all up through it, but no, it doesn't. It's like this, just like normal water. Doesn't taste any different, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes over the week. It's not like I've spent a ton of money, is it? 17 quid to try it out, and if it works and it helps me feel a bit better, then that's always got to be good, hasn't it? But I don't know. It could be a fad. What happened was my son was watching Noel Edmonds in New Zealand on the telly, and he's been doing that. And so he thought he'd give it a go, and I'm jumping on that bandwagon as well. Hi, is that OJ or Deb, or is it both of you over in Canada? Are you back home yet, or are you still at your son's? This is what I need to know. Ah, there you are, Deb. Are you on your way home, or are you back already? So we've got lots of things that I've got to think with today. You know, when you give stuff away, don't you? They do, like, for charity shops, Goodwill and all that sort of thing. My sound and video is out of sync. Oh, dear. Steve, Devon Cliffs, Holiday Park, Sandy Bay. I've been there. Really nice, isn't it? Got a nice swimming pool. You've got a bit of a walk to get down on the beach, and it's a big drop to get down there, but it's nice there. Yeah, I went to a charity shop today. I had a load of books that I was going to get rid of because I'm overloaded with books. I've got this here, and I've got one in my bedroom, and we've got one downstairs. And we've got so many different books and things that it's overrunning us. So I thought, right, I'll go to the charity shop and I'll give them a load of books. So I went into St Ives, which is about 10 miles from where we are, and went to the British Art Foundation, went to give them in. And then when I got to the back door to load them on, they weren't accepting them because they didn't have no staff to sort them out. So we went from there, and across the road there was a YMCA, and they were closed. So I had like these 4 bags of books that I was carrying about, and I ended up taking them to a supermarket, and they sell books for some charity or other. So I ended up taking them there. But you wouldn't think it was so hard to give them away. There was a lot of real good books there, but what do? Do you keep them and just have them overflowing? Because I'm sort of getting overrun with stuff these days. So I'm sort of trying to clear things out of the way, and not getting anywhere, to be honest with you, which was one of the reasons why I thought about doing the giveaways for the DVDs and the Blu-rays and things. So I'll talk more about that in the next week. How's your day been? What's the weather like where you are? It's been a bit blowy this morning, sun shining. It's quite a nice day. In England today, for showmen, people from fairground backgrounds like me, today is what they call the start of the back end. And it's the back end of the year, and it's the first day of Oxford Fair. They have a 2-day fair in Oxford every year, right in one of the main streets. And it's always the first Monday and Tuesday after the 1st of September. And today is the first one. So Oxford Fair is on today. So it's kind of, it tells you that we're coming into that part of the year where we're going to have to look for our coats and things again and start getting us sorted. Luke, don't worry about missing the start, because as it seems to happen every week lately, I've had loads of problems and it's not gone too well. So you haven't really missed too much. I was just chatting about basically what's gone on in the last week. You'll be able to see it when we show this back. And hopefully, because there've been a bit of problems at the beginning, when it's already uploaded and that, I'll go in and try and trim it down so that there's not such a big gap as there was. Because I think we lost maybe 4 minutes at some stage into it. So hopefully it will start to stay as it is, and we'll have a better live stream. I'm losing my words, you know. I think it's because I've been ill. I don't know about you. Project Weaver. Hello. Again, one or two in today. It's nice to see who's about, to be honest. It's really good. I noticed that we're starting to get a few regulars in the chat room. Let's have a look who is here. Andy Marriott's here. Cristiano Suzuki. Coffee Walks and Whatever, which is OJ and Deb. We got Steve Vowles, who is on holiday. He's at Sunday Bay in a Devon Cliffs holiday park. Steve and I went to school together way back when we were little chillers in our shorts. Now we're just too old. Luke, nice to have you in with us, and Project Weaver. So we've got a few in here. There's a few more actually watching who aren't in the chat room at the minute. So my suggestion is you get in there, say hello, have a chat to everybody, and let them know how you're doing. South Wales, it's a bit cool but sunny. That's good. Sun and warmth. So whereabouts in South Wales are you from, Andy? My grandfather, Murphy, was born in Cardiff, so I'm a quarter Welsh, as it turns out. So South Wales, that sounds like part of it. And we got Jonathan Brewer in Cornwall. Mixed in Cornwall, is it? Ooh. Is it the waves? Is it nice and high for the waves so people can go surfing? Perfect for me. Just finished work on the bus. I'm watching myself. Right. So is there anything we would like to chat about this week? Saw a good film yesterday. It was on a DVD, a film I hadn't come across, a film called Breach, which was about an FBI officer that had turned bad and someone was set to catch him and all that sort of stuff. It was quite a good watch. I've not watched it before. I won't probably watch it again, but I will certainly pass it on at some stage. Hi, Harris. How are you? Have I ever been to St Ives in Cornwall? I've driven through there, but I've not been there to spend any sort of time. I've been to Padstow and Newquay and wherever the Eden Project place is, been there as well. Whereabouts in northwest Kent are you, Luke? Because Deb's family are all basically from Medway originally. She's got a daughter that lives not too far from Maidstone, and we were there last week, funnily enough. Last Saturday, not this Saturday just gone, but the Saturday before. So it's nice to see you all chatting to each other in there. If you think I'm looking away from you, it's not that. But over there is where I can see the chat room. So I kind of look that way to see what's going on. Yeah, I've been sorting out some films that I can pass on in our giveaways. There are two films, Saw 1 and Saw 2, I believe. I'm not really into horror films, so they're not my kind of thing. I watched Sherlock last night, the one with Robert Downey and Jude Law. That was quite good. I'm going to put that into there. There's the Benjamin Button film, that one? I've got a DVD of that to go in because somebody gave me the Blu-ray, so I thought I'll pass that on. So we're going to be doing it in the next week or so. I would imagine I'll have enough to do like 5 Blu-rays and 5 DVDs. So I'll make a little video and we'll do a giveaway and then I'll send them out to somebody. The only problem with it, and I say it now, is that it's only going to be possible for me to send them to the UK. So if anyone wants to take part in it, you've got to be UK based, I'm afraid. It's not that I don't like you. It's just that Postage is a pain in the bum. It's so dear and expensive to send elsewhere. Plus, you could get picked on by when you get across there and have to pay taxes for import taxes because it's films. So I'm not going to make you do that. I'll have to try and find another way of doing something. I could do a giveaway for the followers, the viewers, the subscribers from other places in the world. Yeah, horror films aren't my cup of tea either. I used to watch them when I was a kid. Do you remember the Boris Karloff, Christopher Lee, Vincent Price, and all those old-fashioned ones that were in black and white? I didn't mind them, but that really, in this day and age, they weren't that scary, were they? But me and my mum used to watch them when I was a kid, and they used to come on late on a Friday or a Saturday night or something. And when we were open with our amusement arcade, we used to shut at 11 o'clock, and we'd go in and put the telly on, and we'd watch these films. But the only problem with it was we watched most of them silently, because my dad, you know, in the day when you had to have a phone on a landline and there was a seat for the phone and all that sort of thing, that was in our living room. And my dad would phone his brother up, who had an amusement arcade about 135 miles away from us. 135, why did they say that? It could have been 150. But anyway, he had an amusement arcade, so they used to ring each other up and talk about how they were doing and how many people were about and all that sort of thing. So we used to watch the telly silently, and we'd watch all these horror films, but in silence. And it was really odd because I'd never seen them before. My mum had, being that much older, and she'd tell me the stories of them. And it was great because on other nights you'd get films like the Marx Brothers, and my mum would tell me the story of what was going on in the film, and she'd laugh her head off. So they were great. We had great times with that. Disaster films. I watched a film the other day on Blu-ray, I will be giving it away, called Monsters. And it was about aliens, obviously, come down to Earth, and they'd infected half of Mexico. And they were killing people and all that sort of stuff. It was all right. It was a bit far-fetched, but it was a disaster of some sort, if you know what I mean. But I remember watching in the 70s those films like Airport and Poseidon Adventure. That was one, wasn't it? Can't think. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head of films that were disaster movies from way back when. Look, beautiful Dartford, especially when you go over the bridge. To go over the QE2 bridge. That's pretty. I like going up there. I like to have a look round and see what's going on. Go on, quite dull. Japanese, heard of that one? They're not. No sound. No, perhaps they're not. To be honest, I look back on them very fondly because I suppose it was me mum sitting next to me, and she would talk through the films. But I remember films like House of Wax, Frankenstein with Bela Lugosi as the monster of it. They were great. Terran Inferno, yeah, I saw that, funny enough, on the telly. It was on the telly last year. But, do you count Titanic as a disaster film? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. See what you're all up to. So yeah, that's the situation. We've got, as I said, I've got films that I'm going to sort out, and I am going to give them out as a giveaway. I think the best thing for me to do is do a little video saying this is a giveaway. We've got such and such and such and such and such a film. These are what's available. If you want a chance to be in to win it, then email me give me your name. And then once I've got enough people in, I'll do the draw, and then I'll send the DVDs and the Blu-rays off to whoever's the lucky winner. And I'm looking to do that on a fairly regular basis, to be honest, because if you've watched some of my recent videos, you know that I've been given quite a lot lately. And the thing we've been given DVDs and Blu-rays is that sometimes they're not to your taste. It doesn't make them bad, but it doesn't make them, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't make them bad. And my mind's going blank. You can tell I've not been at my best this week. But yeah. Kid Luke. Are you talking about Cool Hand Luke? I don't know Kid Luke. Hello, Jamie. How are you? How's Blackpool treating you? Is it okay up there? Nice and warm, or is it a bit windy? I watched something the other day. If you're in Britain, it's on BBC4, and it was called Thinking About Britain. It was filmed in 1988, and it was shown on BBC in 1989. And this guy went all around Britain filming bits and pieces to show the life of British people. And he went into Blackpool and filmed in Blackpool. And while he was there, must have been the windiest day ever, because he filmed it and there were people leaning into the wind trying to move forward, and the wind was blowing them back. Really, really funny. The War Game. Is the War Game a film or is it a TV series? I think I saw that. If it's a TV series, it's been on TPTV. We're talking a lot about telly lately on this channel. Excuse me. So, yeah, I'll do that with them. I'll probably try and put a video out. It's Monday today. It'll probably be an extra video over the weekend if anyone's looking for that. I've not done so much blogging this week because obviously I haven't found anyone who's a subscriber to the mailing list. I did send out an email this morning with the links to the blogs that I did last week, the videos that I did last week, just in case you want to catch up on it. It's the weather is very bipolar. Yeah, it's coming to that time of year, Jamie. All right, let me see what else have I got here. We've got my illness out of the way. Talked about Japanese interval walking. Has anyone else ever tried that? Japanese interval walking. It's I didn't even know about it this time last week, but apparently it's a huge thing, because the minute I watched one video about it, my timeline became full of videos about it. So loads of people must do it. It's raining there, is it? It's all right out here. I'm looking out my window behind the monitor, and it's sunny out here still. So hopefully it won't be too cold. In fact, I had to put the fan on because it's baking in here. Chris, how are you? You've got back in time then. Let's see, 34. Yeah, not too bad. So, my question for you all. Somebody mentioned it to me today. This is one of those questions that polarizes people, and yet it's a nothing one. Pizza, pineapple or not? I'm a pineapple person on pizza, so please don't hold that against me. But I do like it, and I always have done. I'm not a big pizza eater, funnily enough, but when it's got pineapple on it, I could eat it. So, I often seem to be saying so. I wish I'd, one of these days, will come here totally prepared to chat to you for the next half an hour about all sorts of things. See you later, Luke. Thank you for coming in, saying hello. It's nice to have you here. And hopefully I'll hear from you soon. Yeah. Pineapple goes on pizza. Yes, that's what I like to see. Do you know what? All my family think I'm some sort of div because I have because I like pineapple on pizza. They all think that it's sacrilegious. I don't know why. So I watched a video yesterday, a friend of mine who's been in this chat room before. There's a pizza going around the UK at the minute that is supposed to be really, really hot. And it's got some chilies on it that are real hard. And he did a competition today whereby every time on this competition he got an answer wrong, he had to take a bite of the pizza. Luckily for him, he only got two questions wrong. But he was nearly crying. He took the first bite, and it wasn't until he swallowed it that he started coughing, his eyes started running, and he had to drink a glass of milk to try and cool it down. He said it was ghastly, but apparently it's doing the rounds in the UK, and lots of people are liking it. Not for me. There's an American eatery not far from where I live, and we went there one night, and I decided to have buffalo chicken. And my Lord, buffalo chicken, I cried. The tears was running out of my eyes. It was so hot, it was unbelievable. Deb's just sat on the other side of the table laughing at me, to be fair. But it was the hottest thing. I couldn't believe how hot it was. I didn't realise that the buffalo chicken was that hot. I just thought it was like going to have a little bit of a kick. But no, that done it for me. Yeah, that sounds all right, Steve. But I think pineapple must be. And pineapple, nearly as good as a meat feast. Chris, I'm with you there. Why is it, I have to ask, why is it that people do not like pineapple on a pizza? I love it. I like the sweetness with the, I wouldn't say the spiciness because it really isn't. But if you have Chinese and you have sweet and sour, the sweet and sour sauce has got pineapple in it too. And it just works for me. You've started buying Sriracha. It's not super hot. It's hot. I'll give you that. My stepson, Niall, has gone through a period of putting Sriracha on pretty much everything he eats. And he like, and he went for a bottle of it in, I think, just over 10 days. He went nuts with it. So that was, he quite liked it. He didn't think it was that hot. If you don't like pineapple, I can understand why you wouldn't like it on pizza. Because if you don't like something, then you're not going to like it on anything, are you? But I do like it. I do like it tremendously. Yeah. Good on you, Deb. That's what I like to see. See, it's a worldwide thing. It's not a phenomenon, just odd, eccentric Englishmen. There are people around the world that like it with pineapple on. Most people don't know. I don't understand it, but I'm just one of them who has to try these things. I'll try it. Debs will dish me up something, and she'll go, "What do you think to that?" And generally, I like pretty much. I'm easy to please as long as it's warm. I'm pretty good with it. So it looks as though, just by reading your messages, that Meat Feast is the most favoured one, which I can eat, but I don't tend to eat a lot of pizza. I have to be honest. It doesn't quite do it for me. Yeah, I can eat one of them. You know, when you go to an Italian restaurant, I can never say whether it's right or not. Is it calzone or is it calzone? Now, I know that to me seems like a pizza folded over, but I really like that. Chocolate Pineapple rings and custard, favourite school pudding. Today we went shopping, Debs and I. And as I was walking down the aisle, we were looking for some custard because she bought an apple pie. And in the aisle, I don't know if you know this, but they still do chocolate custard, strawberry custard, they do tapioca, and they do semolina and sago pudding. I didn't realise anyone ever ate them things anymore. I thought they died when school dinners passed away from the stuff that us people had in the 70s. God, 70s, 50 odd year ago. You must be only fruit. All right, I won't say tomato. I was going to, Andy. I was going to try and come the clever side who says, tomatoes are fruit. So I need to know, have you got any ideas for me to make some videos? I've got 2 on the back burner that I'm actually stealing the idea from somebody else because they look a good idea. But I'm kind of running out of ideas. But I'll tell you what, I will tell you something, and I'll probably make a video about it. I was watching the other day an interview with Stevie Wonder recently from a tour, and the woman who was interviewing him, Annie Mac, on Radio 1, I suppose, she said to him, what do you think about retiring? Because you've got to remember, Stevie Wonder is now 75. He was 75 in May. And he said, and I love this, for as long as you breathe, for as long as your heart beats, there's more for you to do. I take it that means that he won't be retiring anytime soon. But I like that. I really thought that was a good little comment, because I'm that way inclined. I like the thought that there's always something more for you to do. You still haven't finished. There's a guy on YouTube who says if you're still breathing, you're still got things to do. I can't think of his name, but I did a video and talked about him a while back. And so I kind of believe that if you haven't got something to keep going for, your life sort of tails off a bit. I've noticed that a lot of people, when they retire, if they don't keep doing something, they don't last too long. And so it's important to me that I think that we all keep going and still keep trying to do things. And my prognosis wasn't brilliant the other day. I still think that there's loads more for me to do, and I shall still be doing it. Yes, it is Ambrosia, Chris, that does the tapioca. In fact, it was Ambrosia, I think, that did all of them, the things that I looked at today. Water. Just in case you think it's gin or vodka, it's not, it's water. I'm not that way inclined. They asked me in the doctors the other day how much I've had to drink in the last 2 weeks. And all I could say with them is I had 1 little glass of Bailey's. That was it. So I don't drink a lot like that. OJ should live forever. My God, that man can work. I totally believe you, Dev. They just drove 12 hours to go and visit their son. 12 hours. And they did a video that looked fantastic. They live in Canada, and the views of open territory, if you like, were just stunning. I really liked that video you did the other day, Deb. I enjoyed that. I hope you do more like that. That was really good. So what else can I think about talking about that I want to do in my videos coming up soon? I have, the truth be told, if I click out of here for a second, I have got a fair amount of videos that I could do. I'm going to do a video called Who is this Sandscratcher guy anyway? Because a friend of mine, yeah, Bailey's is good on it, Steve. A friend of mine who's got a channel on here, The New Retired Me, did a video about that this other week, and he makes a valid point. We talk about getting subscribers and getting loads, but once you get past the 1,000 and you become, the subscribers doesn't really matter that much. Now, when YouTube have changed things so that you can get an idea of who's watching your videos. Now, the majority of my videos are seen by people who are looking at the channel for the first time. In fact, it's about 60% of people who look at the videos are watching for the very first time. Then you've got about 15 to 18% of people who watch the videos maybe once or twice over a 5-month, 6-month period. And then you've got your diehard supporters who watch you on a regular basis and will probably watch anything that you do. And so it occurred to Tim, and it occurred to me as well, that when I do these videos, people will look at it, don't know who I am, don't know who the Sandscratcher is, or why he's called the Sandscratcher. And so I'm going to do a video talking about who I am, why I do this channel, what's the overall theme of the channel, because I think it's important for people to know who they're actually watching. The Sandscratcher sounds like just a weird name. I wanted to use my own name when I started the channel, but there is already a James Murphy who is fairly famous. He's the lead singer and main person behind LCD Sound System. And so if you type that in, my name, James Murphy, into YouTube, all of his videos come up. Nothing I do ever would. So that's why I changed it and give myself a moniker, if you like, the Sandscratcher. Which sounds weird. I know most of you know why I am the Sandscratcher and why I got the name and why I picked it. And what I'll be doing is a video, basically, talking about that, talking about the kinds of videos that I like to do on the channel and how I'd like to build a community. It's great at the minute. I love this. Do you know, when I come and do a live stream, the fact that I can look into the chat room and I can see people in there chatting to me. And what's great is over time, you start to get to know the people. I'm starting to get to know all of you. And what I really like about the live stream is that you can say something that makes me laugh. and hopefully, big hopefully, I say something sometimes that you may find interesting, something that makes you curious. Or you may just think that James Murphy's a nutcase, on he? So, the next chapter is Saskatchewan. What a great name for a state, or is it a state or a county in Canada? Saskatchewan, or is that just a place? I don't know enough. I'd love to be. I used to like geography. If we could have done it and didn't have to look at things like clouds and strata of stones, I think I might have liked geography at school. If it had all been about places and all the different things about cities and where they are on that, I think I'd have enjoyed that, but it wasn't like that for me. Right, we are 50 minutes in. God, that's going quick, isn't it? If you haven't yet put your name into the chat room and said hello, please do. It's a province. Ah. Right, thank you, Deb. I'm a little bit wiser and a little bit more knowledgeable than I was when I started today's live stream, and that's always got to be a good thing, isn't it? Now, if you're watching this live stream on the replay, which will be available either tonight or tomorrow, don't forget down below in the, not the description, in the comments, that's what I'm looking for. I want to know, one, do you like pineapple on pizza? I want to know all sorts of stuff. Have a listen to these sorts of things that we talk about on here and start to have a chat. Let's start a conversation down below so I can have as much fun talking to you there as I have talking to everybody in the chat room. Well, Steve, yeah, the sand at Birth play a part in it. I was born at a coast. I wasn't born in the Somerset coast. I was born in Essex, in a little town called Leigh-on-Sea, which is a seaside town. And at the time, my parents owned an amusement arcade in Canvey Island, also in Essex. And that's where we were scratching a living. So that's where it comes from. It's sand, being near the sand, scratching a living down the coast. That's where the Sandscratcher comes from. It's something that people who are traveling on fairgrounds and fairground families call people like us who stopped traveling and went down the coast. But if you've never seen this channel before, it may be interesting to find out why I'm called that. So that'll be what that video is about. I'm looking to do that one fairly soon. What was the other one? There is another one that I want to talk about. Where am I? I'm just looking at my phone to try and look at some of the ideas that I came up with. Billy Connolly is doing a TV series at the moment and just chatting about different things. And he was talking about his kids. And he was talking about people often go to jobs and things that they go because it's just their job. But he said that he wanted his kids to find what they think they should be doing and do that. And I kind of agree with that because it's how I've been. I've never chased money, but I've always wanted to do something that I've enjoyed. I ran a travel firm for a little while. There's a big travel firm called lastminute.com, and I started a firm up called gotomorrow.com. We did quite well, but I didn't know enough, to be honest, and I didn't have enough people helping me. I was a one-man band trying to run a company that needed lots of people, and we booked out holidays. And in the first 6 months we were on the channel, I did get 1 million views of the website, which was pretty good back in the day, and it was going all right. But in the end, because it was just me, it wasn't good enough. But I tried that because I fancied doing something like that. I tried radio because it's something I always wanted to do. YouTube, I do that because I saw other people doing it and it looked really good fun. And so I just started it and carried on doing it. So I kind of see what Billy Connolly means about doing what you feel you should do. And I felt that with this channel, the stuff that I talk about in the videos, not so much live streams, but in the videos, that was what I felt I should do. I started off telling it to my boys, and that's what I felt I should do. And it kind of stretched and went from there. So it's been pretty good. I've been very lucky doing the things that I've done in my life. I won't ever be rich. And I never really wanted to be fair. I have wanted to do what I always wanted to do, was do things that made me want to get up in the morning and go to work. And so I've been very lucky like that. So I fully understand what Billy Connolly was on about finding what you think you should do and then going out and doing it. It was much easier when I was younger and single than it was when I was married and with kids, but it's still doable. The province between Manitoba and Alberta. I'm going to have to go and get a map and have a look at it, Deb, and see where it is. Right, coming up to an hour. Is there anything you would like to ask me? You are most welcome. And then I think I'll call it a day, because believe it or not, I feel quite tired. Having been not very well over the course of the week, my energy levels are not as good as they normally are. So after this, what I'm going to do is go and collapse on my settee, have some apple pie and custard, watch a bit of telly, and go to bed later. And I've got to try and get up tomorrow and actually make a start at getting some video together, because I've been out of it all week, and I don't like it. I like knowing what I'm doing and getting things done. This week has been pretty odd for me. It's very rare that I get the time to sit about and just watch telly all week, because that's all I've done basically. And I was saying that to Des last night, and she said the trouble is that I get too guilty. I feel guilty if I'm not doing anything, and that is fairly true. Hopefully I will feel better soon. I'll actually feel better when I get the letter through from the hospital to go and have me scan, the ultra scan. And once I know the result of the ultra scan, then I can move on again, because at the moment the situation is that I kind of feel like in no man's land, because I don't actually. I was shocked at what the doctor said to me the other day, and it kind of knocked me sideways. And so it knocked me off of my equilibrium out of balance, I suppose. And until I actually can go to the hospital, get the scan, and see what actually is wrong, then we can take steps to see if we can improve on the situation as it is. But till then, I'm kind of a bit all over the place, if the truth be told. But don't worry, I'll still be doing videos, because I enjoy it. And I love talking to you guys on Monday night. So that's still going to be going on. And I'm really, honestly and truly, I know I say this week after week, and I'm pretty poor at it. I am going to put an agenda in place one day and sit down and write down all the things that I want to talk about through the course of these live streams. Because I start this, and run out of things, and I sit here sometimes and go, what am I going to say to them next? Which is why I always love it when you guys come up with things. And to be honest, I like hearing from you guys, because it's not just about me. It's about the community of us. And if there's one thing I've learned from this, is the biggest thing about YouTube that I've enjoyed is the communication between myself and you guys. I love that. I love it when I get comments. I love it when people tell me different bits and pieces of what's going on in their life. I really do. And I love the fact that we're kind of like-minded generally. If you've been around the channel for a while, and you can put up with me talking about whatever I happen to talk about on the day, and you come back again, you've got to be a bit like-minded, I think. And so there's a little group of us. We're not the biggest group in the world, but I'm very happy to have the size group that we have. I love the fact that we have people watch the videos and comment and have something to say. That's important. I think it's very important that you have your input into this. I know it's in my name and all that sort of stuff, but I like to think of it as, you've had me say it again, you're part of my tribe. And I love that. And I'd like the tribe to grow bigger, of course I would. And it's great. And I really love the fact that you're spending time on your Monday evening when you could be doing something good, sitting here watching me talk to you. Anyway, I'm going to let you go now. You haven't got any questions. So I will see you again